Hi everyone, welcome to Token Topics. Stellar XLM is the topic of this video. We have some incredible news. The moment that we've all been waiting for is finally here. You can now easily convert your XLM into cash, cash out, or make deposits at your local MoneyGram without even using a bank. This is truly revolutionary, and it's going to help a lot of people that are unbanked to manage their funds. Also, it's not too late to jump into Stellar Community Fund Discord, and I'm going to show you how easy it is to do that. I also have a special DCENT Wallet announcement to make, so stay tuned to the end of the video. DCENT Wallet now supports Stellar XLM Trustlines. This is truly awesome. But before we begin, remember, I'm not your financial advisor. Invest at your own risk. I'm also not paid for or sponsored by the Stellar Development Foundation. So with that out of the way, let's go ahead and dive in, shall we? Topic on the list, it's not too late to join in the discussion on the Stellar Community Fund. The 15th, June 15th through the 16th, you can join in and hear the latest and greatest on the projects built on Stellar. Now, it's not too late because it is the 15th and tomorrow the 16th, and it's very simple. All you do, I'm going to put the link to this down below. All you do is just click on here to the Discord, and you can select a username and you can join in and hear the discussions and be part of it. It's that simple. And as I stated, it's definitely not too late because with so many things going on with the cryptocurrency community, it's hard to keep up sometimes. But it is official now, and we're going to hear some words from Danielle Dixon as she announces the launch of MoneyGram and Stellar Org's Crypto to Cash service. This is truly impressive.
I've been on this with MoneyGram for a really long time. MoneyGram is offering a service that is really going to be that bridge between crypto and fiat, or crypto and cash, cash to crypto. And it's live today. And it's so exciting that they were actually able to bring this to all those people out there that have never had this kind of access. So we're launching today in the United States, Canada, Philippines, and Kenya. And the on-ramp is a cash to crypto on-ramp in these four geographies, but also the crypto to cash off-ramp. So being able to do this is going to be, it's just phenomenal, and I just feel like it's such a huge opportunity to be able to leverage the kind of utility that we see in blockchain and to bring that to everyone so that we can actually allow these local developers to be able to create these awesome tools for folks using stablecoins and other assets.
I tell you what, I'm super excited myself because I have people that I know in the Philippines, and I'm going to get them on board, get them a Lobstr wallet so I can easily send them money through the Lobstr wallet through MoneyGram. Now, this is something that I've spoken about on this channel before. I was patiently waiting for this MoneyGram partnership for them to be able to do on and off ramps on the Lobstr wallet. So it's very exciting to see it's finally here. On the list, this was tweeted out a few days ago from Stellar. Let your users convert between digital assets and cash seamlessly across thousands of locations in a growing list of countries. Learn how we're expanding access to digital and cash on and off ramps and how you can leverage this service. Let's go ahead and take a look. Awesome. They even have their own Stellar MoneyGram website. This is stellar.org/MoneyGram. So MoneyGram Access. With MoneyGram Access, wallets and fintechs can enable their users to easily convert digital assets to cash or cash digital assets across thousands of participating MoneyGram locations in a growing list of countries around the world. And as I stated, I have people that live in the Philippines that I love, and it's going to be nice to use this service and get it done. Also, it's imperative that I let my listeners and viewers know that you're very, very careful. This is tweeted out from Spintax, who you can follow on Twitter. Now, with the big announcement of the Stellar and MoneyGram partnership going live, that he would like to point out that there is no official MoneyGram asset. Again, that there is no official MoneyGram asset on Stellar. That we're using USDC and XLM to pay the network tax fees. So if you see a token out there claiming to be a MoneyGram token, it's fake. It's fake. Don't fall for it. We're only using USDC and XLM. Again, there is no MoneyGram asset out there. Now, going back to the Stellar MoneyGram website, so expanding digital and cash on and off ramps. Let's go ahead and give this video a listen, shall we? Unfortunately, due to copyright issues, I cannot play that video, but what I can play is Stellar Development Foundation's beta version video that they made a while back. Let's go ahead and watch that.
Hello everyone, my name is Jake Urban and I'm a senior software engineer here at the SDF. Today I'm going to show you how to cash in and cash out of USDC using MoneyGram and the Lobstr wallet. I should note that this is a pilot for Lobstr, MoneyGram, and SDF employees, but this will be available publicly in 2022. Let's get started. As you can see, I'm at the home page of the Lobstr mobile app, and I'm going to open up the sidebar menu and select Buy USDC. Lobstr has now opened up a MoneyGram hosted deposit window, and I'm going to deposit $200 cash to get 200 USDC on Stellar. I'm currently in Minnesota, so I'll select that for the state. Next, I'll need to find a MoneyGram cash agent I can use to drop off cash, so I'll enter my zip code and see what's close by. Looks like there's one about a mile away. MoneyGram is showing my details of my transaction, and since it all looks good, we're just going to continue. And now since I've already entered my KYC details in a prior transaction, MoneyGram allows me to update my address if necessary, but I don't have to here, so we're just going to keep moving. Now I need to enter my ID number, which will be checked by a MoneyGram agent when I arrive at the location to drop off cash. This is an important step because MoneyGram uses your ID to match with the transaction, so whenever you go to a MoneyGram location, make sure you bring your ID with you. And here's a summary of the transaction. You can see that I'll be providing cash and receiving 200 USDC on Stellar. This looks good, so I'm just going to submit the transaction. And we're done. Now I can go to the MoneyGram location I selected, show my ID, and drop off my cash. I'll see USDC in my wallet before I even leave the agent location. Okay. Now that we've deposited cash for USDC with MoneyGram, let's take a look at how withdrawing USDC for cash works. First, I'm going to go to the Assets menu and select USDC. I've already made a few deposits, so I have a balance, and below the Send and Receive options, you'll see that Lobstr has Cash In and Cash Out with MoneyGram buttons. Let's cash out. Now we're going to withdraw or cash out $200 from my USDC balance, and we'll enter the state we'd like to pick up the cash. Now, this time, MoneyGram doesn't ask me to select a cash out location because MoneyGram enables me to go to any location in the state to cash out. The amount and fee look good there, so let's continue. My personal information also hasn't changed, so we'll move on from this screen as well. Now, all I have to do is enter my ID information. I'm sure you've noticed by now that the cash out experience is very similar to cash in. The transaction summary looks great, so let's submit it. Okay, MoneyGram is ready to receive my USDC, so let's close this window and send the funds. Once MoneyGram gets my USDC, which should take about 5 seconds, I'll get a reference number and I can take that to any cash out agent in the state. Looks like our funds were sent. Let's take a look at the transaction and see our reference number. And there it is. All I have to do now is go to a MoneyGram cash agent and show them my ID and reference number to get my cash.
On the list is Protocol 19. Now, there was a lot of fake news, a lot of YouTubers out there talking about liquidation of all traditional markets and the volume going into Protocol 19 and to the Stellar network. Well, that did not end up being completely the case, but what I will say this, ironically though, when Protocol 19 did come into play, the markets did take a massive hit. All of them did. So maybe there is a half-truth to it. Maybe I guarantee you there's things that are going on behind the scenes that we don't know about. I promise you that. We do know that the old financial system is indeed dying. So for the collapse of the old system would be more of a controlled demolition. But anyway, going into Protocol 19, let's get some facts of what's really going on from Stellar.org. So what's new in Protocol 19? Protocol 19 implements two core advancement proposals. Cap 21 introduces a new suite of transaction preconditions, which are optional requirements that you can add to control transaction validity. Time bounds, which have long been a Stellar transaction precondition, allow you to craft transactions that are only valid in a specific time-based window. The new Protocol 19 preconditions allowed you to craft transactions that skip sequence numbers, set ledger bounds, enforce relative time, and ledger delays. There's also Cap 40, which adds a new signer type that allows multiple parties to build a set of transactions for signing that guarantee if one transaction is signed, authorized, and submitted information is revealed that allows all other transactions and set to be authorized as well. Now, here's something that is not so far-fetched compared to what a lot of people were saying. This actually does align with it somewhat. So the new protocol, Protocol 19 changes were designed to facilitate the creation of payment channels. Payment channels. It's very important in order for that money to flow. So these payment channels, which are layer 2 protocols that support high throughput use cases. These payment channels allow two parties to frequently transact with one another to move the bulk of activity off-chain while still recording open balances and final settlements on-chain. So these payment channels are vital for that money to move. So two parties open a channel with an on-chain transaction that gives both parties control over the settlement accounts. They then pass the transactions back and forth and validate them and sign them off-chain. There's a lot more to this. So before Protocol 19, it was very difficult to handle the rest of the process. A transaction can only be valid if the source account sequence number was exactly one greater than the sequence number used for the previous transactions, which meant that the two parties exchanging transactions couldn't increment the sequence number in an off-chain channel. Now we have Starlight. So prior to the implementation of the Protocol 19 changes in production, the Stellar Development Foundation engineers used a sandbox DevNet to build working payment channel prototypes called Starlight by applying the minimum sequence number precondition to skip sequence numbers, adding relative time and ledger delays to create a relative time lock, and using the new signature type to atomically authorize multiple transactions. Starlight tested out the Protocol 19 changes, and the results were pretty amazing. So in a test using consumer hardware and residential internet connections, Starlight was able to handle 1.19 million payments per second between two users, which is a lot, of course. So it's all about moving that money and moving that money fast. Now let's hear some words from the latest protocol discussion so we can hear the latest of what's going on with the new protocol.
Okay, great. It is 2:03. It is time to kick off this week's Stellar Open Protocol discussion. So these meetings, which we have here on the Discord channel so that people can see what we're talking about, we discuss and plan for changes to upcoming versions of the Stellar protocol. Quick note is that yesterday, actually, the network successfully upgraded to Protocol 19. So all the changes that we were talking about a few weeks ago are now live on Stellar. There are now new transaction preconditions and a new type of signer, which are great technical changes that make it easier to build payment channels and bridges to other blockchains and new kinds of key recovery services on Stellar. Every time that there's a protocol upgrade like that, it takes a lot of collaboration across the ecosystem. And I just want to take this second to say thank you to you all, to all the validators who upgraded and voted for the network upgrade, and to everyone who updated their Horizon, their Stellar Core, their Stellar SDKs. I'm always amazed that we can come together and pull these things off. And so thank you. Thank you for your diligence. Thank you for your cooperation. For your diligence. Thank you for your cooperation. So here we are. We are here to talk about core advancement proposals. These are where changes to the Stellar protocol starts. And at the moment, we're focused on Jump Cannon, which is a new smart contract runtime. And we've decided to break up a lot of the work on Jump Cannon into discrete sections and to talk about them separately. And if one of the big questions that exists when building out something like this is, or in this case, is asset interoperability, namely how classic assets on classic Stellar can and should interoperate with Jump Cannon. And if you were at the meeting last week, you know that this is a difficult decision. There are a lot of differing opinions about how best to do this. We were at a bit of a loggerheads, but over the course of the week, we've sort of started to figure out a good path forward. So I think to kick things off, I'm going to call on John, who's just going to give us an update as to where we are with that.
It's a bit of a long video, so I'm going to put the link to that protocol discussion in the description below. Right, this is a moment that a lot of DCENT wallet holders have been waiting for. This is excellent news. In our latest update of DCENT Wallet, we are excited to announce the integration of Trustlines for Stellar XLM Ledger to support the token ecosystem in a Stellar network. So what is a Trustline, somebody might ask? Similar to XRP Ledger's Trustline, Stellar Network also has its own system of issuing token currencies on its blockchain. In a Stellar network, a trust line issued currency can be issued through a mechanism called anchors, which takes deposits of real-world assets and turns them into a token balance on a Stellar network. Now there's a list of Stellar XLM Trustlines that you can add to the DCENT wallet. I will say please use caution because some of these are questionable. Ones that I do know that are very authentic is the Aquarius, the Aqua, you can set an Aqua Trustline, YXLM, USDC, Turnio, there's also Mobius, and there's Stronghold. Some of these other ones, you might want to do some more research. I know that there's been some speculation of XXA Xenium, so I would hold off on that if I were you. But it is great news to know that now we can set some trust lines on a DCENT wallet with XLM blockchain. So right here, this is a diagram that shows you how easy it is to add a trust line. Please note that adding a trust line on Stellar XLM Ledger will reserve half an XLM, 0.5 XLM, meaning this reserved amount gets locked in the XLM account. But don't worry, if you remove that trust line, you do get that half an XLM back. So that is good news. One, a trust line can be added simply by searching for the name of the trust line asset. In this example, we will add Stronghold token. Select your XLM mainnet account, which will be used to pay for transactions fee for the trust line activities. And 3, click on the create button. And in 4, you can see that the Stronghold token SHX is added underneath the XLM mainnet account. Let me show you this diagram right here. So you go to the plus sign, you're going to add to account, and then once that opens up, you're going to see it drop down all these different SHX. So you click on that plus sign, you type in SHX, and you're going to see these drop down. There's an ERC21, there's a Beep2 one, a Binance one. You're going to want to pick or select the Stellar trust line. So once you click on that, you're going to see this pop up. And all you simply do is just tap on that Stellar XLM-01. And then you just tap on create. And there you have it. You created your Stronghold token trust line. And you can see it's connected to the Stellar network right there. Pretty simple. Now this is very important. How to set and activate the trust line. Remember that just adding a trust line does not mean you can receive the trust asset issued currency to this account. You must first set and activate the trust line before you can receive the funds. So when you go to the Stronghold, for example, you tap on receive. Then you set trust line. As you can see, the address is not shown, so that's why you have to tap on set trust line. Now once you tap on that, proceed with trust line set, it's going to ask you that. And it's going to show you that at 0.00001 XLM is consumed as a fee for setting the trust line. Additionally, as we stated before, half an XLM will be reserved and locked to set that trust line. So once you hit OK, now the trust line has been set, and now you have an address for, as an example, the SHX. But as I stated before, you can do that with any of these tokens. Same process. This was just an example. Now, let's say you want to disable that trust line. You want to get your half XLM back. So how to disable a trust line? A trust line can be deactivated anytime, only when the balance in the trust line account is completely emptied out. So you have to make sure for SHX, for example, you'd have to make sure it's all emptied out before you want to delete that trust line. Okay? So that 0.5 or half XLM that was reserved in the Stellar account will become liquid again. You will receive that back. So disabling a trust line account will free up the half XLM which was reserved. So as you can see in this diagram below right here, so click on the trust line account, SHX for example, that you wish to disable or deactivate, and click on the detail history. So you simply go to that, for example, the stronghold, you tap on detail history, then you simply go up to the top right. You're going to see these three little dots. You're going to tap on that, and then this is going to pop up on the bottom, and all you do is just simply tap on disable trust line, and it's going to ask you, do you want to disable this trust line? If the trust line becomes disabled, the remaining balance cannot be transferred. The half XLM used for activation will become transferable. You will receive it back again. The trust line can be reactivated anytime, so you can reactivate it, deactivate it as many times as you want. And don't forget to keep your DCENT wallet updated. The latest versions of the DCENT mobile app can be found below. I'm going to put the link to this down below, all these instructions. And if you have any questions, you can go ahead and put some questions down in the comment section, and I'd be more than happy to help you. If you have any technical questions, please go to the official DCENT Wallet website, and they would be more than happy to assist you. Well, that's all I have for the video, everyone. Go ahead and put your comments and your thoughts down below. What are your thoughts about the DCENT wallet now accepting XLM Trustlines? I think that's pretty awesome. What do you think about the whole MoneyGram deal? I think that's pretty awesome too. Go ahead and put your comments, your thoughts down below. I want to always say thank you so much, everyone. I do appreciate you for watching Token Topics. I really do.